The old Haveli stood silhouetted against the bruised twilight sky, its crumbling walls like skeletal fingers reaching for a dying sun. Locals whispered its name, Pret Bhavan, the house of spirits, and hurried past after dusk, their eyes darting nervously at its darkened windows. Anya, however, didn't believe in whispers. A freelance photographer chasing the thrill of the forgotten, she'd driven miles into the desolate countryside. A tattered map her only guide. The Haveli, with its decaying grandeur, was a photographer's dream, a canvas of shadows and secrets. The heavy wooden gates creaked open with a groan that echoed through the silent grounds. The air inside was thick, with the scent of damp earth and something else. Something faintly metallic, like old blood. Anya shivered, pulling her shawl tighter, dismissing it as the evening chill. Inside, dust motes danced in the slivers of moonlight that pierced through broken window panes. Cobwebs hung like macabre lace, and the silence was so profound it pressed against her eardrums. Anya moved cautiously, her camera held ready, the click of the shutter the only sound breaking the stillness. In the main hall, a grand chandelier lay shattered on the floor, its crystal fragments glinting ominously. A chill deeper than the outside air enveloped Anya. She felt a prickling sensation on the back of her neck, the unsettling feeling of being watched. She spun around, her heart hammering against her ribs, but there was nothing. Just shadows stretching and shrinking in the dim light. As she ventured deeper, into what looked like a study, she found a leather-bound diary lying open on a dusty desk. The ink was faded, but the script was legible. It spoke of a family who had lived in the Haveli generations ago, their lives intertwined with a dark secret, a terrible tragedy that had stained the very stones of the house. The last entry, scrawled in a frantic hand, ended abruptly with the words, "They are coming for me." A sudden gust of wind slammed a nearby door shut with a deafening bang, making Anya jump. Her breath hitched in her throat. The shadows seemed to deepen, to writhe. She told herself it was just the old house settling, the wind playing tricks. But the feeling of being watched intensified, morphing into something colder, more malevolent. She decided to leave. The stories, the diary, it was all getting to her. As she turned to retrace her steps, she saw it. A fleeting glimpse in the corner of her eye, a pale shape disappearing behind a decaying tapestry. Anya froze. Her mind screamed for her to run, but a morbid curiosity rooted her to the spot. She slowly approached the tapestry, her hand trembling as she reached out to pull it aside. Behind it was a narrow passage, plunging into darkness. The metallic scent was stronger here, mingled with a cloying sweetness she couldn't quite place. A faint whisper seemed to drift from the depths of the passage, too indistinct to understand, yet chillingly close. Ignoring the frantic warnings in her head, Anya switched on her flashlight, its beam cutting a shaky sway through the blackness. The passage was damp and claustrophobic, the air heavy with a sense of ancient dread. Then she saw it. At the end of the passage, illuminated by her flashlight, was a small locked room. Scratches marred the wooden door, deep and desperate, and beneath the door, a dark, viscous liquid had seeped onto the stone floor. The whispering grew louder, closer, swirling around her. It sounded like a chorus of hushed sobs, laced with a chilling undercurrent of malice. Anya's blood ran cold. She knew, with a certainty that chilled her to the bone, that whatever horrors the diary had hinted at were not confined to its pages. They were here, trapped within these walls, and they knew she was here too. Suddenly, a scratching sound erupted from inside the locked room, growing in intensity, morphing into frantic pounding. The door rattled violently. Anya stumbled backward, her flashlight clattering to the floor, plunging her into near darkness. She could hear the whispers now, clearer, more distinct. They weren't words, but something far more terrifying, sounds of anguish, of despair, of a hunger that clawed at her very soul. Something brushed against her leg in the darkness. Anya gasped, scrambling backward, her hand scrabbling against the cold stone wall. She could feel its presence, close, unseen, its breath a cold whisper against her ear. A low moan echoed from the locked room, followed by a sickening crack. The pounding on the door ceased. The whispers intensified, surrounding Anya, closing in. She fumbled for her camera, her fingers slick with sweat. As her hand closed around it, a cold skeletal hand clamped down on her wrist. Anya screamed, a raw, primal sound that was instantly swallowed by the oppressive silence of Pret Bhavan. The last thing she saw, before the darkness consumed her completely, was the faint, phosphorescent glow of eyes in the blackness, filled with an ancient, insatiable hunger. The next morning, the Haveli stood silent and still against the clear blue sky. The gates remained open, swaying gently in the breeze. Inside, the only sound was the rustling of leaves, carried on the wind through broken windows. Anya's car was still parked outside, a splash of vibrant color against the decaying stone. But Anya was gone, and the whispers within Pret Bhavan continued, waiting for their next visitor. Days bled into weeks. Anya's disappearance became a local legend, a cautionary tale whispered around crackling fires on cold nights. The police investigated briefly, deemed it a missing person case with no leads, and eventually closed it. Pret Bhavan remained untouched, its reputation as a place of ill omen solidified. Then came Rohan, a paranormal investigator, fueled by a blend of scientific curiosity and a personal tragedy that had left him questioning the veil between worlds. Rohan had heard the stories. Unlike the locals, fear didn't deter him, it intrigued him. He saw Anya's disappearance not as a warning, but as an unanswered question. Armed with an array of gadgets, EMF readers, thermal cameras, audio recorders, and a healthy dose of skepticism, Rohan arrived at Pret Bhavan on a moonless night. The air was heavy, the silence palpable, just as the stories described. He noted the abandoned car, a stark reminder of the previous visitor who hadn't left. He meticulously documented his entry, the creaking gates, the dust-choked halls. His equipment flickered erratically in certain areas, the EMF reader spiking near the shattered chandelier. His thermal camera picked up cold spots that had no logical explanation. In the study, he found the diary. He read the faded script, his brow furrowing at the increasingly desperate entries. He lingered on the final, chilling sentence. He also noticed something the police likely hadn't: faint scratches on the floor near the desk, as if something heavy had been dragged. Rohan spent hours exploring, his senses on high alert. He set up audio recorders in various rooms, hoping to capture any unexplained sounds. As he ventured into the passage behind the tapestry, his flashlight beam danced nervously on the damp walls. The metallic scent was still faint, but undeniably present. He found the locked room. The scratches on the door were deep, vicious. The dark stain beneath the door was old, but its presence sent a shiver down his spine. He tried the handle, it was firmly locked. He examined the hinges, rusted solid. Suddenly, one of his audio recorders, left in the main hall, crackled to life. Rohan held his breath, listening intently through his headphones. At first, there was only static. Then, a faint whisper, barely audible, seemed to weave through the noise. It was indistinct, sibilant, like many voices murmuring at once. He reviewed the recording multiple times, filtering out the static. He could almost make out words, fragments of despair, echoes of suffering. And then, a single chillingly clear word cut through the cacophony: help. Rohan felt a knot of dread tighten in his stomach. He wasn't alone here. He returned to the locked room, his determination hardening. He had to know what lay behind that door. He pulled out a small toolkit and began to work on the lock, his movements slow and deliberate, the silence amplifying the scraping of metal. As the lock finally clicked open, a wave of icy air washed over him, carrying with it a stench of decay and something else, something acrid, like fear made tangible. He pushed the door open slowly, his flashlight beam cutting through the absolute darkness within. The room was small, bare except for a single overturned wooden chair and markings on the walls. Scratches, like those on the door, but these were different. They formed crude symbols, almost ritualistic in nature. And then he saw it, in the far corner of the room, illuminated by his trembling flashlight beam. A skeletal hand, its bones brittle and yellowed, protruded from beneath a pile of what looked like rags. Rohan's breath hitched. He moved closer, his heart pounding in his chest. He carefully pulled back the tattered fabric. Beneath it lay a human skeleton, its limbs contorted at unnatural angles. Clutched in its bony fingers was a familiar object, a broken camera, identical to the one Anya had carried. A wave of nausea washed over Rohan. He had found Anya, but the state of her remains suggested something far more sinister than a simple disappearance. As he stared at the skeleton, a whisper brushed against his ear, so close it felt like a physical touch. It was a woman's voice, laced with unimaginable sorrow and a hint of lingering terror. They never let us leave. Rohan whirled around, his flashlight beam sweeping across the empty room. There was nothing, but the chilling whisper had been undeniable. Suddenly, the temperature in the room plummeted. The EMF reader in his pocket screamed. The shadows in the corners seemed to deepen, to coalesce into indistinct shapes. He felt a cold pressure on his chest, as if an invisible weight was pressing down on him. He struggled to breathe, his lungs burning. From the passage outside the room, he heard the faint shuffling of feet, growing steadily louder. The whispering intensified, no longer a murmur, but a chorus of mournful wails, laced with an undercurrent of something predatory. Rohan knew with a chilling certainty that the diary's final words were not just a lament. They were a warning, and he, like Anya before him, had stumbled into the heart of Pret Bhavan's dark secret. The spirits were not just trapped here, they were possessive, and they did not take kindly to intruders. He had found Anya. Now the question was, would anyone ever find him? The shuffling grew closer, the whispers louder, and the darkness in the small room seemed to writhe with unseen presence. Rohan gripped his flashlight, his scientific skepticism battling against the primal terror that gripped his soul.